the railway station of Ruifang, not far away from Taipei in Taiwan. Over here you find two branch railway lines. One is the Pingxi line and the other one is the Shen'au line. I already covered the Pingxi line last year in one of my very first Taiwan videos. And now we will take the Shen'au line. At the end of the Shen'au line you will find railbikes. These railbikes do cover an abandoned part of the railroad tracks here in Taiwan. And we'll be riding one of them today. So join me on this cycling train. It's something totally different than any of my other videos, but it's fun, although it doesn't go that fast to be honest. But I'll tell you more about that in the video. For now, let's just roll the intro. Today we start our journey at Taipei main station, where I take a local train to Ruifang. Ruifang is a junction station where you find trains for both the Pingxi line and the Shen'au line. We'll be taking the Shen'au line on this video. And something else, I did not record this in one single go. We tried to take the rail bikes in the weekend, but well, no chance of getting on board of the rail bikes. So I just went back later on a weekday, right before I had to work. My girlfriend is originally from Taiwan and I worked from home in Taiwan. However, I had to keep up with the European time zone, so in the morning I could do other things. Like for example, take this rail bike. The station of Ruifang is not very big, but it is accessible. You find elevators to the platforms and the main concourse. There is no place where you find lockers, but at the side of the railway station you can drop your luggage at the railway staff. I don't know how easy this is all going if you don't speak Mandarin, but thank goodness I have my girlfriend for this. The town of Ruifang itself is not very big, but it's actually really nice. Especially in the weekends, it's really busy and popular to go here. This counts also for the Shen'au line and the Pingxi line. As a matter of fact, I advise you, if it's possible, not to take the Pingxi line in the weekends. Speaking of which, I do have a trip report on the Pingxi line as well. It's actually one of my first trip reports ever in Taiwan. At the front of the railway station there's a bus stop, and between the railway station and the bus stop there's a big square where some old people let their hips flow and doing some singing and dancing. The railway station of Ruifang is not that big. It's only being served by local trains as far as I noticed. And once again, in the weekends it can be busy over here. Before you go through the kind of gates to the platforms, there are clear departure screens and everything has been mentioned in English and of course in Mandarin. Within the main concourse there are some ticket counters, vending machines for train tickets, but you can also travel with the use of an easy card if you travel with local trains in Taiwan, and that's exactly what I did. Directions have been marked crystal clear within this railway station. By the way, something you should keep in mind, in Taiwan they mention platform numbers but not track numbers. In general, platforms have several tracks, apart from platform 3 over here. At platform 3 you will find the trains for the Pingxi line and the Shen'au line. These trains do basically run on both lines. Before I show you the train, let me tell you something about this Taiwan trip in general. This video is a part of a round trip around Taiwan by train. Taiwan is an island of contrasts, seamlessly blends tradition with innovation. With this extreme diversity on a small scale of land, Taiwan has to offer a lot for pretty much all travelers. In its modern cities with millions of people, modern skyscrapers share the skyline with ancient temples, reflecting an harmonious coexistence of the past and the present. And for those who love street food, Taiwan is the place to be, and especially at its famous night markets. The west side of Taiwan might be very dense populated with many big cities. The central part and also the east side of the main island, over here you find lots of high mountains, and the nature is overwhelming over here. Due to the volcanic activity around the island, you find many hot springs, so you can cook your own eggs in one of the hot springs or visit one of the many hot spring resorts. And of course, we'll be riding all different kinds of trains. Some of them are very exceptional, some of them are just regular commuter trains, but mainly we'll be riding long distance trains within Taiwan. And apart from that, there will be some bonus videos where we'll be taking the bus as well instead of the train. And even though Taiwan has an impressive high-speed railway network on the west coast, In this series, we'll only be taking conventional intercity trains because they do provide very good intercity connections as well. And having a girlfriend that is originally from Taiwan makes traveling actually a bit easier for me as well. This way we can combine some awesome travel with a family visit. So join us as we take you on this railway journey around the main islands of Taiwan and show you what it's like to travel on a more sustainable way of transportation in Taiwan. Just a quick interruption of this video. I hope you like this video so far. If you do so, or if it's a helpful video to you, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more trip reports of more sustainable ways of transportation, then hit that subscribe button. You can also find me on the socials. It will pop up over here on the screen right now. But for now, let's continue with this video. Back to Ruifang, where we are waiting for our train on the Shen'au line. There's a special waiting zone for the Shen'au line. And this is our train coming in. For both the Pingxi line and the Shen'au line, the same trains will be used, and these are diesel-powered trains. And the trains are relatively simple commuter trains, but these are not long railway lines either. Both the Pingxi line and the Shen'au line are very popular, but once again the Pingxi line is way more popular, and especially in the weekends. Let's do a little train tour. Right above the entrance doors you'll find a line map of both the Pingxi line and the Shen'au line. And there is one toilet per train set. One train set is basically one carriage, and these trains I saw them being combined up to 4 carriages or train sets. You can basically walk from one train set to the other one, but what I like most about these trains is that you can have a look with the driver, at least on one side. And this also means you have a great view at the front of the train. However, it's also easy to walk between the different carriages. The layout is pretty simple and don't expect too much of these trains. Once again, these trains do run on very short distances only. For now, I'll just show you some views from the train between Ruifang and Badouzi on the 4.6 km long Shen'au line. I'll get back to you right after that and show you the rail bike. This is what this video is all about. Here our train is arriving at the railway station of Badouzi, and this is literally the end of the line. You don't find a lot of terminal railway stations in Taiwan, but this is one of the very few. The station itself is not that special, it's basically a platform right next to a track. And you have also a great view at the sea. Buses to Taipei depart not too far away from the railway station as well. I'll get back to that at the moment we travel back to Taipei, but first we'll be taking the rail bike. I mean, this is where this entire video is all about. It's actually quite pretty here, and just realize you're not that far away from Taipei over here, what is one of the world's biggest and busiest cities. However, it's definitely not the prettiest part of Taiwan, but it is pretty in my opinion. The rail bike will go along the coast and eventually go through a tunnel to another small town. Because I had to work, I couldn't visit that town because I just took the first rail bike back. But for now, let's walk from the railway station to the rail bike station. And this is a super easy and short walk. Basically, you walk from the end of the railway station, just follow the abandoned track, and before you know it, you end up at the station for the rail bikes. Well, station, it's not really public transportation for the rail bikes, but well, you know what I mean. And over here it is. You can try to go here spontaneously, however it's mandatory to have a reservation for these rail bikes, and it's really popular, especially in the weekends. Therefore, I found an empty spot during a weekday. Reserving these rail bikes as a foreigner, it's a little bit next level, and I'm not even going to explain this. However, I found one video on YouTube that will show you this process step by step. I'll link that video in the description of this video, and it might pop up on the top right of the screen now as well. Long story short, the English website just doesn't work. Information in English is there, the staff doesn't speak English though. However, thanks to Google Translate, communication was relatively easy. At first they were mentioning I need to share my rail bike, but later on they found out I could have it to myself. That's actually what I like most, especially for filming. I was relatively at the back, so one of the last passengers to board. And it took a while before we could start our trip. Actually, I like to pedal quite fast. You know, some excitement, some thrill. But this went really slow actually. And even though I really liked it, I hit the brake more than I hit the pedals. At least this is how it felt. For now, I just show you some views from the 1.3 kilometer long track on the rail bike. Here I'm arriving at the other station, basically other terminal station of the rail bikes. Well, there are only 2 stations anyways. And over here the bikes will be put in the other direction and people can cycle back. This is exactly what I did. I didn't have much time to visit the town over here, although from a distance it looked really nice and cute. However, I also needed to work in the afternoon and the evening because I was working in the European time zone, so I just head back and took another railbike back. And unfortunately, again I was one of the last passengers to board these railbikes. Actually on the way back I was really the last one. And even though it didn't went fast, I really liked this, and as an excursion from Taipei I really think it's a nice excursion to do so. Once again, planning this and reserving a spot might be a little bit difficult. However, I will link a video in the description of this video where they give an explanation on how to do this. Not far away from the railway station of Badouzi, you also find a bus stop, and over here I took an intercity bus back to Taipei. Both for the buses but also for the regional trains you can travel with the use of an easy card, what is a smart card for public transportation in Taiwan. Apart from that, you can also pay in lots of convenience stores with the Easy Card, for example. In my situation, the bus was slightly faster than taking the train. The bus went to Geelong first and from there on went on the highway to Taipei, and for the last bit of the video I'll just show you some views from the bus. think in Geelong it will get busier. Anyway, I really hope you liked this video, or this maybe has been a helpful video to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. And if you'd like to see more trip reports, in general not like this, but this channel is mainly focusing on long distance and or international traveling, to show you what it's like to travel on a more sustainable way of transportation, mainly train, sometimes ferry, and even sometimes buses, then hit that subscribe button. See you on my next video. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and if you did so, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you're interested in other trip reports, of course you can find them on this channel, and something else you find in the description of this video is a link to a map where you can find all videos on a map.